Hi everybody, today we're going to do a new variation on my Kaleidoscope pour. I've laid out the colors that I'm going to use on my canvas. The colors I have are cadmium orange hue, cadmium yellow, deep color, phthalo green, emerald green, deep violet, alizarin crimson, phthalo blue, this is a lake blue, and then my base color, instead of using black, I'm going to use this dark turquoise green. I put iridescent medium in all the colors except for the dark turquoise green. I also added this hologram glitter to all of the colors except the turquoise green. So I've taken and mixed some colors together. I mixed the phthalo blue and the lake blue together to get a little bit darker color of blue than the lake blue. I also mixed the phthalo green with the emerald green to get just a little bit darker hue. So next I'm going to take all of these paints off my canvas. Now I'm going to mix my colors in my paint cups for my ring pours, and I want to start out with basically one that's going to have blue and green hues with a little bit of purple in it. Since my purple is sinking, I'm going to drizzle some on so that it doesn't just all sink to the bottom. Okay, in the end, my blue-green cup looks like this. Next, I'm going to pour a cup that is going to be blue, red, and purple, so purple being kind of the central theme. Here's the end result of my purpley red blue cup. Next, I'm going to pour a cup with red, orange, and yellow. So here is my yellow, orange, and red cup pour finished. The next step is to put background color on my canvas. And it looks like I've already decided to put some drips on there. And turquoise green instead of black. Let's see how this turns out. Could be cool, could be a total disaster. So the canvas I'm using is a 9 by 12 inch, just gallery wrapped. I like the smaller size for these pours because of the amount of paint that you have to put on the canvas. If you get a larger size canvas, it has a tendency to sag in the middle and it can distort your design. So I use a little bit smaller canvas, or you can always put a support behind a larger canvas, but I find that these smaller canvases are just a little bit more user-friendly, especially if you're first starting out with this technique. I also like a cradle board. A cradle board does a really good job of holding the paint in place, and it doesn't sag. So I've tried a 12 by 12 cradle board, and I like the results I get with that. Also, the paint doesn't drizzle off the sides as easily because of the surface tension on the paint when it hits the squared off corner as opposed to the slightly rounded corner of a gallery wrapped canvas. So I'm not getting like super great coverage here, but that's all going to change when I start pouring paint on this. All I really want is just some kind of color and a little bit of a slick surface for my paint to move over. not too worried about what it looks like because it's going to get covered up. So with this, with a rectangular shaped canvas, I like to make my design a little bit more off-centered, so I don't have to worry about I have too much above or below. It's purposely not a perfectly centered design. I'm going to start out here with a little bit of the green, blue, and purple cup. And we'll see, I might change tactics right here and decide to do something different with my center color, because what I have is not super dark. Not getting like my favorite contrast here. But well, I have to do what I... After I get the basic first layer poured, I need my base color. I pour a little dot in the center. This is interesting. Okay. Second color is my purple, red, and blue cup. And then again a little dot of the green. And then my third pour is the red, orange, and yellow cup. So once again, I'm just going to keep having to do these layers one after another until you get on as many as you want. And I already see that I'm spilling over the side, but I don't care. That's fine. Kind of made a little mistake in my usual order of go, but that's okay because I'm going to call that a happy accident. Because now I can kind of take advantage of my bright color, and I was using the green as my contrast, which didn't turn out exactly the way I wanted, but it's kind of winding up being my bright orange, red, and yellow that's going to provide more contrast for me here. Okay, I added some colors to the corners just to get a little bit of coverage, and I'm going to tilt this just a little bit. Just kind of... Yeah, we can fix things later. There. Just get a little more coverage. And a little bit down here. Tiny bit there. Alright. Clean hands. Now, I have three main areas that I can focus on to add more. And I actually am liking the green. I just have to focus on my bright colors with it. So I'm going to make some more design here, here, a little bit more here, and I'm going to toss one in here. Okay, so this is the design I'm going to start with for making it, making my little kaleidoscope design elements. I have a very important tool. This is the petrified paintbrush. It's very important. It's very critical. To get one of these, everyone can have one, but it takes a special technique to get one of these. You have to use your paintbrush and some acrylic paint, forget about it, let it sit there for a while until it's dried, and then attempt to pick all of the excess dried paint off. Okay, so when I get ready to make my lines in my painting with the petrified paintbrush, I want to look at each of my design elements and determine where the best place is to put the lines. And I look for places I can draw lines out. So I'm looking for escapes, and I'm looking for places that I can draw lines into it to make it kind of have a flower petal look to it. So I'm going to start out with this central one because I have a great place for an escape right here. Now it's helpful to have a paper towel, a lovely multicolored paper towel, so you can wipe off the paint in between and you're not dragging and mixing a lot of colors. So I'm going to have another escape right here. I'm looking for places where I can follow some natural lines. And here's another escape right there. Now, this element is in a good position for me to use an escape and make it an entrance into the next element, just like this. Same thing with this one. Now over here, I do actually have an opportunity to do that. So it gives me kind of a little trillium in the middle. Okay, so you wind up with a little starburst of flower in the middle. Now this one has a nice line right here. And I want to do another similar line here, right up to that one. And actually, this one can become an entrance onto that one. Here we have a chance we can go like this. My daughter says that that element looks like a little bird. And I think I would like to see if I can't make this look more like a tail. Maybe not. I'll have to think that one over. We'll play with this. And this is a nice little exit right there. So this can be incorporated into Okay, so I like the way that looks, and my daughter says that this looks like a little hummingbird coming into a garden, and to me this looks like a big central flower. And we have like a stem down here, some blossoms around the sides. And what do you think? We want little centers in our flowers, Megan?
Yes.
Okay.
Not that one.
Just a tiny little center. How's that? What about this one? Let's do a tiny little one there too.
Yeah, that one. Tinier. So.
Okay, tiny little centers in our flowers. And our hummingbird even sort of has an eye because I got a little drip there.
It has a friend.
It does. So that's how I do these crazy little kaleidoscope pores. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. And thank you for watching.